Today we're going to talk about a train strike. We've got an itinerary change for a princess ship. We're going to talk about some brand new cruises that were just released by Holland America. Then I want to talk to you about changing the way you think about cruising, the way you think about traveling. Also, where to look for some affordable cruises if you want to go from about June through partway through October, a great place to look. And we're also going to talk about some things that I don't think you should miss when you go on a princess cruise. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Tuesday. It is January 23rd of 2024, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, will you please hit that subscribe button? We would love to have you with us, and I think you're going to enjoy coming along and being part of the amazing adventure that we're all on together here. Also, if you appreciate my updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up because it makes a big difference to us. So thank you. Let's start at the top with the train strike that is going on. If any of you are planning to travel through Germany this month, let me make you aware the Deutsche Bahn, both the long distance and the regional trains and the S-Bahn are going to be on strike from January 24th, which starts tomorrow clearly through the 29th. It is really important to know that this really affects a lot of the train travel there in Germany. The articles that I could find about it talked about how they will have some emergency transportation available, but if you are planning to use the train as your mode of transportation there in Germany, you're going to want to have a backup plan because that's probably going to have to include some other mode of transportation. So if any of you are going to be traveling around Germany in January, let us know. We would really like to hear from you. There's so much going on all over the world, and it's always a good idea to go see it. Now, another update that I've got for you. Several people have been so kind to let me know. We've got a Let's Go family member on the Sky Princess right now who tracked down and found out that they do have those Kindness Vineyard winemaker dinners going on board that ship. And it sounds like I am hearing more and more that those have come in on all of the ships. So if you're on a princess ship, let me know about that. But also, it sounds like that Kindness Vineyard wine is being served in the Crown Grill. It doesn't sound, from what I can hear, like it is something that's going to be served if you are in a different bar or location on the ship. So let me know. I would like to think, though, that they would deliver it to you, right? If you wanted to order it in your app. So if anybody tries that, let me know. I also wanted to remind you all, we've got people who are posting regularly over on our Facebook group who are on the Caribbean Princess right now, as well as the Sky Princess. Really do an excellent job. So if you want to follow along, see how everything is going on those ships, if you've got questions for them, they're being very gracious in answering questions. So if you have not joined our Facebook group yet, I think it's time you did. You're going to want to be a part of that. And I want to throw in there that I am not someone that does Facebook very much. I have my own Facebook page, but I post on it less than every year. So, but I thoroughly enjoy our Facebook group, and I've learned so much and really appreciate the opportunity that it gives me to get to know so many nice people. Now, we've got an itinerary change coming up for the Regal Princess. On the cruise that is going to sail on February 17th, they are going to be calling in Roatan, Honduras as part of that cruise. It's a really simple itinerary change, but I wanted you to know that instead of arriving in Roatan on February 20th, they are now going to arrive on February 19th. All right, it's just a quick update. It should not affect people's ability to do the excursions that they were hoping to do or that they have booked. And so when we hear more on that, I'll let you know. But really, itinerary changes they're not terribly uncommon anymore. So wanted to make sure that everybody knows about that. Now, I like to think that I often talk about how wonderful it is to cruise here. We talk an awful lot about every little detail, all the minutiae that you can think of. And people that cruise a lot, I kind of think can get carried away with that. And I'm in that bucket. I remember a long time ago when Gordon and I first started cruising, that would be in 2014, I remember looking at some of the cruise critic boards and looking around at information and thinking, wow, those people really think about every little thing a lot. And you know what? Now I do that too. So I just wanted to give you the overview on a few things today that I hope will help as you think of whether you are growing on your very first cruise and you're trying to decide where you want to go, or if you have been a lot of times and maybe you feel like you're in a rut, or maybe you feel like your bucket list is getting bigger and bigger and you want to knock some of those things off your bucket list and actually go to those places. So a few things to think about. First of all, Holland America has released their for a while now, they've had their legendary voyages, and really what Holland America is, quite frankly, as you look at what they're doing with these itineraries, they are doing more and more of these legendary journeys, as they call them, rather than more and more of the world cruises. And they still are going to have their world cruise, I'm sure, but it's interesting from the standpoint that a lot of people cannot be gone from home, whether it's for work or family, or just don't want to be gone that long as a world cruises, even though they would like to see all of those places. There's also the expense associated with that as well. It's an awful lot all at once on one cruise. And so I think it's amazing what Holland America is doing. The other thing that I find very remarkable with what they are doing with these legendary voyages is they are making so many of them round trip from ports in the United States. That is a huge game changer for people. Some people don't like to fly. Some people don't like to fly over water. Some people don't want to fly so long in order to get to Europe or to Asia or to wherever that they want to go see. And so with a lot of these cruises that Holland America is introducing, you can go to the Mediterranean round trip from Fort Lauderdale. You can go, let me share some of these with you. So really start thinking. And the other thing that I have been thinking about an awful lot is that and I know it's a bad habit I have, if I really love to go somewhere, I tend to go there again and again, while there are still other places that are on my bucket list. And Gordon and I are trying to make an effort to focus on what some of our bucket list places are, even if it makes it so for a little while we can't go quite as often, but we get to go see some of the places we want to see. And so first of all, and I will have you know that so Holland America's had some of their legendary voyages already introduced, and then they are introducing some new ones. So with some of the new ones that they are introducing, as a perk for booking it early, you get the Have It All package and you get the prepaid, all of the crew gratuities with it. If you're not familiar with Holland America's Have It All package, it does not include the crew appreciation, the gratuities, alrighty? You get your Wi-Fi, you get your $100 shore excursion credit for one excursion that you book that is at least $100. You get your specialty dining and you get your Wi-Fi, alrighty? So that's what comes with it. So, one of the really big deals out of these itineraries that they have released, and you can just dream with me, I'm not going to get to go on all of these, but I can daydream a lot and think about it. So on October 7th of 2025, so they have a lot of these I'm going to add for 2024 and 2025. They've announced some new ones for 25 and into 26. So October 7th of 2025, they are going to have what they are calling their 45-day Ultimate Mediterranean and Atlantic Passage. So that ship is going to sail round trip from New York City, and then it's going to visit the Mediterranean, and it's going to take an itinerary, follow the voyage that the cruise line took 100 years ago, and go to a lot of those same ports, okay? So they are going to include Portugal, Spain, the UK, Italy, Tunisia, Malta, Greece, Egypt, and Turkey. They are going to have overnights, and it's such a big deal to have an overnight on a cruise ship. In Rome, Istanbul, Alexandria, Egypt for Cairo, which I also want to add in this. If you look at your itineraries, for some of them still for 2024 and into 2025, we are still seeing a lot of itineraries that are including your Israel, your Egypt, your Jordan, all of these places. There's one Azamara one that I've been talking about to Gordon about booking that goes to like Jordan and Egypt and Israel and all the places over there. So anyway, it makes me happy that those haven't all been taken off yet, and hopefully we'll get to go. let's see. So those are the places that you get to have overnights that I was just telling you. And then in Gibraltar and Barcelona and Istanbul and Alexandria, you also get a late night. So in Istanbul, you get that overnight, and then you're going to stay late and leave late at night the next night. Same with Alexandria. That's a big deal. They're going to have a January 24th of 2026 sailing. That one is going to go 28 days on the island of the Pacific, and that one includes things like you're going to go to 7 different countries. You get to go snorkeling in the Great Barrier Reef. They're going to call in the Conflict Islands there in the South Pacific, Fiji, Tonga, and end up in 3 calls in New Zealand as well. And then let me tell you a couple of these others really fast. They're going to have a 27-day Pacific crossing. That one is not round trip, but it's still amazing that you can go from Seattle down to Sydney. They're going to have a 36-day South Pacific crossing that's going to go from Sydney to Seattle. And so truly, like, you could look at what you can link together, and it would depend on how long you want to stay in what place, so that you could go down, visit things, and then come back on a cruise ship. Just a lot of amazing things. And then they've also got some of their ones in 2024 and 2025 that I've already told you about before, but like this remarkable 28-day, it's called Alaska Arctic Circle Solstice Voyage. That goes on June 8th of 2025. They've got an Arctic Circle crossing that takes you to Greenland and Iceland. Like, how cool is that? And you can run that round trip from either Rotterdam or from Dover there in England. So many things to think about. Yeah, so many amazing things to think about. So if you don't like to fly, but you want to go see Europe, this is a really good way to do it. And if you've not retired yet, keep your eye on these for when you're ready to retire, or think of, I'm also happy I help people put together their transatlantic over to Europe, some cruising and touring there, and then a transatlantic back. The world is our oyster, and it is such a gift to have this beautiful world that I think we should take advantage when we can. Now, when we think of traveling, sometimes it's really expensive. As I have been looking, though, at cruises in New England, there is a jump between the fares of 2025 and what they are for 2024. Now, in the long run, do we know how much those ones in 2025 are going to come down? We don't know. We don't know if they're going to come down. But I wanted to point out to you, Carnival Corp actually over on their page made an announcement about Princess Cruises top reasons to visit Canada and New England in the upcoming 2024 season. What does that mean? Those are some of those their cruises that are not selling probably quite as briskly as they would like. And so they are really highlighting those. And so I wanted to tell you about this both from a budget standpoint, that as you look through them, they go from June through mid-October. It's a really great time to look at those because of how comparatively affordable they are. And there's really a lot of different options. So you can do round trips from Boston, which I think is very exciting because there is so much to see in Boston. You can do that before or after your cruise. Everything from like Revolutionary War history. You can rent a car and go down to Cape Cod, or up to New Hampshire, drive up, further if you want to. You can go to, they have so many amazing museums there in Boston. If you're someone that really enjoys museums, like the Boston Museum of Fine Arts, they've got Isabella Stewart Gardner's home is there, which is a museum, like countless things to do. So put that on your radar if you haven't already. They've also got their historic, their American Historic Cruise. If you've been on hold with Princess very much, you're going to hear about that. And it features those stops that we have talked about before, like in Yorktown and in Jamestown, that whole region through there. They're also still running round trip out of New York City, so you get to sail under that amazing Verrazano Narrows Bridge there, past the Statue of Liberty. If you missed my sail away out of New York, you should go back and watch it just for the scenery. That was one of the really special days in my life. I wish Gordon was with me. We're going to have to do it again so that we can go together, but it was absolutely beautiful. Highly recommend that. They still have some of their itineraries calling in Bar Harbor. That's a really big deal. Some of those stops are now in Portland, Maine rather than Bar Harbor. So if you're someone that wants to go to Bar Harbor, it's time to go, because Bar Harbor is really trying hard to not have quite as many cruise ships come. And if you want to go to Acadia National Park, Bar Harbor is your port stop for that, okay? Just throwing that out there. It's a much longer drive if you want to try to do it like from Portland. I think it's maybe a little bit prohibitive how far away that is. And anyway, you can do all the fun things like whale watching. Whale watching there in New England is different than it is in Alaska. It's different than it is in Mexico. So it's really cool to experience it in all of the places. So if you have any questions about that, put them in the comments, send me an email. I'm happy to help you. But there's a tip. If you want to go somewhere, look at those New England sailings. Alrighty, let's talk for just a minute about some of the things that make cruising on Princess such a special event. Now, there's a few things that I want you to think about, and that is before you get on any cruise ship. I hope that you are anticipating going. I think that most of us do. We just are so excited to go see the places we're going to see, experience the beautiful ship, meet new people. I love to meet new people, and the whole experience altogether is rather extraordinary in the very best ways. So when you are ready to embark on your cruise, I'm going to do a video tomorrow that's going to talk to you about that, and then another one the day after to give you a good point of reference if you're new to Princess, and I need all of you who have sailed on Princess before to help out to fill in any of the blanks that I leave. But anyway, as you get on that ship, I want you to make a conscious effort, and I have to do this, to leave what you're worried about as much as you can behind. Step on board that ship and focus on what you want that experience to be. Whether you are going somewhere that you want to be the intrepid explorer, like our people who are on the Sapphire Princess right now, but you can do that going anywhere. You can do that going to the Caribbean, or if you just want it to be the most relaxing experience, you just want to soak in the ambiance of everything, just make a conscious effort to do that and enjoy. One of the things that makes Princess so special is their crew. If you line up all of the crew from all of the cruise lines, they all do an excellent job. But I am going to submit, I honestly think so, and we have been on the other cruise line, several. We've been on Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, we've been on Celebrity a few times, and so yep, I haven't been on all of the cruise lines, and we've been on Avalon, the River Cruise Company, and Princess is second to none. Their crew is remarkable. So look forward to enjoying that. Before I went on my first cruise, didn't know to enjoy the crew. Really enjoy your interactions with them. It's a very special experience. Now, one of the things that I think that Princess has that really none of the other cruise lines have that I am aware of is their piazza area. I've said before, we were talking about it in our live a little bit last night, but that piazza area is very unique on Princess. Even some of the ships will have like a little area like in the center of the ship or somewhere where people can sit, but nobody has Princess's interpretation of a piazza. It's a beautiful setting. There are chairs, you can relax, you can have a drink. If you are on the ships that have the International Cafe right there, you can enjoy that. That will be changing on the Sun Princess. The International Cafe will be up a little bit higher, but it is a place to visit with people. It's a place to people watch. You listen to beautiful music, people that enjoy dancing, dance in the piazza in the daytime. They'll have a few activities there, but overall it is usually like a relaxing place, a nice place to socialize. If you want to visit with someone, you can say, meet me in the piazza. So that is, I think, a very special thing on Princess. Another thing that I think that Princess does a really good job of, and the other cruise lines do as well to an extent, but they do a really good job of having a lot of seating indoors and outdoors around the ship, so that if you are someone that wants a little bit of quiet, or you want to watch the ocean, or you want to sit where you can see what everyone's doing in the pool, or you want to sit somewhere else, there is a place for you. And so I think that's important. Another thing that a lot of cruise ships have a TV up on, or a screen up on the top. And I love the way that Princess does Movies Under the Stars, the way they have their screen situated, the way they handle the seating, the way that if it's chilly, you get to have a blanket. They usually make some popcorn. It is just a really fun experience. And I like that those areas are so open that on some of the ships I have felt like it was kind of crowded. And indeed, the area where you can sit to watch it is a little bit smaller, but there's a lot of options the way Princess does it. So don't miss Movies Under the Stars. Another thing is their sanctuary. Their sanctuary is really nice, and I'm going to submit, I think it's very affordable for what it is. It's a private area of the ship. You have to make reservations right when you get on the ship to enjoy it. If someone cancels and you happen by, then you can pick that reservation up. But you can truly enjoy that very quiet area with excellent service, close to a pool, all of the things, without having to have a suite booked, without having to have a mini suite booked. Anyone on the ship can make that reservation to enjoy the lounger. It's $20 for a half a day per person. If you want the cabana, it's $40 for a half a day. So really what you get and the service that comes with it, I think it's really affordable, and it makes your cruise even more special, especially if you're sailing on a really full ship and it's a little bit tighter there around the pool, or to have your own leisure. And then finally, the other thing that I wanted you to think about is look at the different pools on Princess. I really like that there's not just one pool or one big pool, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how these are all situated on the Sun, because the retreat pool is an area, it's usually back or forward, depending on, usually they're aft, right by the sanctuary, and so you just go upstairs to the sanctuary, and then if you want to come down to the pool, you just come down. It's close to the like spa area usually, but it's an adults only pool. It's usually not packed, and if it's packed, it's usually still really quiet. If there's quite a few people there are loungers along the sides. It is still usually a really nice quiet area. You don't have splashing. If you want to splash, it's okay, but it's just a really nice place to relax. And sometimes when the ship is really full and you're sailing and there are lots of people and lots of children, it is a pool where you can still go and relax, and it's just really nice. So just wanted to throw that out there. So I thought along with this, it would be really fun for all of you to let me know what you wouldn't miss, what you suggest people really look for when you go on a Princess cruise. I know we've got a lot of new Princess cruisers here, so I think it will help everyone out. And tell me if there's something that I've missed talking about. Tomorrow my video is going to be the one that is all about what you need to know if you're going on a Princess cruise, and that is helpful for people if it's been a while since you cruised. I'm counting on all of you to help, and so I look forward to seeing you then, and I will be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.